Okay, let's call meeting to order, starting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our vision statement is connecting, engaging, and growing. So we need to consider any agenda amendments or deletions.
There are none for this evening.
Okay, so that moves us right to good news around the district.
I'll start. So right before break, we had the Gaylor Electric Innovation Mobile Education Training Center. It's a mouthful. I had to make sure I read that correctly. So Gaylor Electric brought their a big semi-trailer and parked it in our parking lot for the day so that all of our students could tour through it and get educational information about possible internship and job opportunities in a variety of different career areas. So that was pretty cool for them to see. Plus, it was pretty cool to have that parked in our parking lot for the day. Again, right before break, our welding students partnered with a local organization and built a cage, for a lack of better terms, that will actually be used in Alexandria at their football games to shoot off fireworks from. I think they maybe took the idea from Elwood. So, but the students
Can we,
and
is
some
there some way
former
we can
students.
use it like to lock in better football players? And what is that the real purpose of the
Hey,
cage?
moving right
I'm
along,
not
Bob.
taking that
And then actually just today, 80% of our precision machining students passed their first certification exam of the school year. And the other 20% will finish tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get that other 20%. I'm confident.
Right before break, we had parent-teacher conference. We all have parent-teacher conferences. We took time during one of our professional developments in the morning to strategically call parents that we needed to get in touch with. And I felt like we had the best, well, I don't feel like we had the biggest turnout we've had in the last 5 years. So that was, we had parents say that, we want to partner with and we want to help their kids be successful. So that was really encouraging. Just recently we completed the inaugural seasons for girls flag football and boys soccer, and it's been really exciting to see different kids that are not usually in athletics get involved in athletics, especially with the girls flag football. Those girls were really exciting to watch and a lot of fun, and they're already looking forward to season number 2. And then just yesterday, the day before, one day this week, we had 20 of our SAD students, which is Students Against Destructive Decisions. They participated in a day-long training focused kind of on mental health, and they've been working as well during that time to prepare for Red Ribbon Week at the intermediate school.
At the intermediate school, we, right before break and a few kids after break, completed iLearn Checkpoint 1. Last year we piloted the program, but this year everyone is required to do it. So the data is coming back and it is much better and much more informative than it was last year. So we're very happy that the state listened to the schools that were piloting it and needing more information. So we are digging through that, starting to work with teams to rework our intervention groups based off of that information so that we can make sure those students who are receiving remediation is needed. Just kind of an update on our move from last year, our kind of the last final piece, our lockers for the 1 third grade classroom that hasn't had them came in today and they are installing them tomorrow. So that's exciting that we'll finally have that last piece in place. We also received our scoreboards for the updated gym right before break and they look fantastic in there. So please stop by and take a peek. Still not fully done with decorating, but it's looking good in there. And we no longer look like we're from the 80s with the bulbs that don't work and you can't read the score. Parent-teacher conferences also went very well at the intermediate school. We had fantastic turnout and great feedback from both parents and staff. And then finally, we are gearing up for the EIS annual Fall Fest, which is Saturday. Hoping, crossing our fingers, the rain and storms stay away long enough to get some of our outside activities in, but the kids are excited.
All right. Good news just for the district as a whole. Title funds are all finally released. Title III was finally released on Friday, so I am now working on the Title II, III, and IV grants. So I've been working on those since 3:30 when everybody left the building. So hopefully we will be able to get those turned in this week, and then we will get those funds, which is very exciting. As far as the elementary, we had Shelley Renbarger featured in the Herald Bulletin as a spotlight teacher in our building, and so that was very exciting. She took a picture of it, of course, and sent it to me and sent it to her mom because she knew her mom would be so proud of her. We also celebrated students from Q1 that had great behavior before we went on fall break. We were able to have extra recess with them, do chalk, hula hoops. We brought out jump ropes, and Cameron and I were able to run around and play with them as well. So of course we heard a lot of watch me, watch this, watch this. So we were running every direction with them, but they had a really great time. We were informed that if we don't have a bounce house, it is not in fact a party. So we have to up our game for Q2. And then yeah, oh, and cake, I guess, also. And then we did have a local band who had people bring school supplies in when they did a concert. And so we were gifted 2 large boxes of school supplies for the elementary students. So that was also very exciting for our teachers. And then, as Abby and Ethan said, parent-teacher conferences were great. We used some of our Title I funding for family engagement, and we were able to put together bags with whiteboards and markers and great ideas that parents could use at home to help with those academic skills. And so we had a lot of parents saying thank you for that. They seemed very excited to be using those activities at home with their kids, so hopefully that will pay off.
Great. ECTA?
Most everything I thought of to say has been said. Just we're coming back from fall break, hit the ground running and gearing up for the next second quarter. Yeah.
Thank you, as always. Good to hear. Good news.
We're looking to bring back student groups, to bring the student group to the November board meeting. ADM, we were at 1424 last year for October ADM. We're up to 1513 this year for our October ADM. So we saw a pretty good increase in our ADM count, which is good. I also had a thought while they were talking. I'm wondering, since we're broadcasting now and we have all of our fans at home, if we could get any endorsement money, like maybe if we all drink Pure Leaf tea, then we could maybe get some endorsements from our people at home. You know, I don't
Need to
know.
name the boardroom.
Yes, I don't know. Just thought there.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you writing the team?
Sure.
Okay.
For all our fans.
I'm more worried about copyright infringement.
I think that's it for good news around the district.
That's good. Especially the ADM, well, not especially all of it. That brings us to the consent agenda.
Do you want to see if there's any public comment?
Oh, yes. I had to write over the top of that with all the good news. Any public comment for the meeting? Looks like no.
Okay.
So the consent agenda.
The consent agenda includes the cash flow reports along with the minutes from both the executive sessions and the regular board meetings that were held on September 18th. Account payable claims totaling $1,147,599.12 and payroll claims totaling $906,968.86. Then we had a number of donations. We had the wrestling booster account, $4,700 to buy new wrestling mats. The Optimist Club donated $200 to Pioneer Day. The Lions Club donated $1,250 to Pioneer Day and Conner Prairie. The Delta Theta sorority donated $200 to Pioneer Day. The Tarnished Hollow Brewing Company donated $217 to lunch assistance. We had a $1,000 anonymous donation to the Fax Lab. We had Scott Reed donated $100 to Pioneer Day. We had a $20,000 anonymous donation to the music department. And then Pam Budd donated $50 to the fax class.
That's great. Are we still posting online donations
Well,
with the new
If-
website now?
If we get pictures, we have been putting things up. A lot of times people do things either very quietly or anonymously. So we don't get to do that very often.
Okay.
Yeah. If we have pictures, which then we do try to get those up, yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
especially on social media.
All right, so you've heard the description of the consent agenda. You've seen the documentation. Do you have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
You know, you kind of expect, more of this. Motion made, seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. That brings us to new business and personnel.
we have 2 new substitute teachers, Darian Dick and Abigail Vasquez. And then transfer Jennifer Mays from our Title I coordinator at EIS to our instructional coach. And then Kelsey McCarty is adding the duty of alternative classroom IA to her already existing duty of driving bus for us.
Bus aid.
A bus aide, sorry. I had driver and it's aide. So she's bus aide. And then Amber Johnson resigned as the health science instructor effective the end of the month from Hines Career Center.
Okay. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. That brings us to the 2026 budget adoption.
So we have the budget on Form 4 that has been advertised, and it is there and included in the board packet and the board agenda. So we just need the board to approve it.
Any questions? If not, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the 2026 budget.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries. That brings us to a public hearing for an additional appropriation. So we'll now open the public hearing for the additional appropriation. So if there are any patrons who wish to speak, please come forward, just start talking. Now we have an attorney here. How long do we have to wait?
It's good. You're good.
No one is appearing to speak. So hearing no further, no comments, I now close the public hearing for additional appropriations. That brings us to bond resolution.
Yep, we have attached here the bond resolution for the board to approve and sign for the issuance of bonds for the purpose of providing funds to pay for the portion of the 25-28 district-wide facility improvement and equipment and bus vehicle acquisition project.
Any questions or issues? If not, this is the same thing we've already looked at. So we have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And we have the additional appropriation resolution.
Correct. Exactly what you just said. We have the resolution to approve for the additional appropriation resolution. So just need the board to approve that and to sign that resolution.
And the resolution's been in the board packet. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the additional appropriations resolution.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next is Neola, our favorite.
Yes. So we have the Neola updates, which again, the vast majority of those are just language changes based on the legislative changes and updates. You had asked last time if these are made public, and I did find out that I don't know if I'd use the word best practice. What is the most common practice is for those to become public during the first reading. You can advertise them earlier, but making them available during that first reading, and most schools do that by having them available on the board agenda as we do. We can take that a step further if the board would like. We can post them on our website as well. But they are accessible through that first board meeting and first reading, and making them part of the board agenda. And so we did that last month as the first reading, so now they are ready for board approval at this time.
Okay, and I went through them all, all the summary. It was hard to do. I mean, because there's so many references that you can spend hours going back to check. So, but I didn't see anything controversial, so I don't see an issue. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Seconded. Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. That brings us to teacher evaluation handbook and rubric.
So with the changes in legislation, I would say the majority of schools around the state are moving away from the RISE model. And I would say the majority of them are also waiting until next year to do so. From just, from the superintendents I've talked to in the meetings that I've attended, I talked to our administrative team, talked to our ECTA, and my feeling was if we don't like what we have, why wait to change it until next year? And so our principals worked on revising the rubrics based on their experience of using it and based on the feedback that they've gotten from teachers. And we then made those rubrics available to the ECTA to look over and go through. And we entertained questions and discussions, and we've made some minor changes to those rubrics as part of those discussions. But we're also entering into this with an understanding that as we work through this, these changes are a work in progress. And as we actually start using them, there may be some other things that come up that we want to make some changes. And we've agreed to have ongoing discussions with the ECTA this year in case there are questions of how administrators are interpreting certain things when it comes to the evaluation. And so I feel that there's a good spirit of collaboration in making this change. It's also not a huge change from the RISE model, but the RISE, the legislation in the state going away from the RISE model allows us the freedom and flexibility to really customize the evaluation process as we see fit. So it's not a huge change, but there's some subtle changes and things that we feel will make it give the teachers better feedback.
So is it sort of like we started with the RISE and then made the changes that we've been
Yes.
thinking needed to be made?
Yes. And I'd welcome if Mr. Savage would like to comment on that, or any of the building administrators would like to comment on where we're at with this. But
I think some of the biggest changes were certain columns had no options in them. So it was either an all or a none, or there wasn't an option for highly effective. And so all of the boxes have options now. And the category titles have changed, and now I can't remember what they are.
you're the one that came up with
I know. But
exemplary instead of highly
So
effective.
instead of highly effective, we went from 4 to 5, and just some wording changes to make things a little more clear and less repetitive. But starting with RISE and just
tweaking.
And I think the important thing that we've looked at over the last several years, that we want that message to continue to be is that this evaluation tool is not intended to be a gotcha tool. It's intended to provide good feedback to help us grow and improve.
I like the levels, the exemplary, the proficient, developing, needs improvement, and unsatisfactory. I think that gives the teachers a little bit more information of what they're looking at, especially the way it's broke down of how each one kind of works in there. I think that'd be a better tool to help the teachers know where they stand and what they need to obviously maybe improve on, because obviously you're not going to be exemplary in everything, no matter how good you are. So I think that's really good.
Our next steps, we're working on a message to all staff between us, including the rubric, so that teachers have time to look over it on their own time, submit questions to us, and then we'll each be using our PD time to kind of go over that with the teachers, answer any questions, to make sure they feel comfortable before we go into their classrooms.
Okay, good. Any more questions or comments? We have a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the new teacher evaluation handbook and rubric updates.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. So the motion carries. That brings us to closing. Anything else that anybody wants to bring up from the board? Or if not, can we have a motion to?
I'll make a motion that we close.
Second.
Great. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We're done.
Impressive.
Oh, wait. Bob,
Gavel.
you got a gavel or you can just sit
Didn't
there
do
all
it.
night. You don't do it, he's not.
Gotta end it.
I don't use the gavel.
I'm not leaving until you.
Just stay